guys, it's MeShell, and in this Ark Gen 2 video, we are going to talk about the Egg Incubator. This new buildable has changed the way that you will breed your dinos in Ark forever. For those of you that know me, you'll know that I love to breed dinos, and I can say that if you like to breed dinos too, then you are going to absolutely need this item and you will love it. So let's go ahead and talk about the Egg Incubator and what it can do. This new engram can be unlocked at level 89 and it costs 55 engram points. Let's go ahead and learn that. And it costs 100 cementing paste, 200 crystal, 250 electronic, 500 metal ingot, and 350 polymer. This thing is absolutely necessary for you to build. So it needs to be crafted in a fabricator. Go up to your fabricator once you have all of your items and craft yourself up some egg incubators. I'm going to craft 3 because there is a proximity with the egg incubators. You can only place 3 within a range of each other. After that, you need to move a bit of a distance away, and then you can place down more of them. But for this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 of them next to each other. Once you've crafted up those egg incubators, you need to have a power generator placed down because these run off of electricity and they run off of a generator. You can use a tech generator if you want, but I'm using just a standard generator here. And go ahead and start placing down your egg incubators. And you can see towards the top in yellow text, it says egg incubator out of 3. So you can have 3 of them in a range of each other. After that, like I said, you have to move quite a bit of a distance away in order to place down more of them. Once you have all that set up, it's time to go ahead and get your fertilized eggs. For my testing purposes, I am going to be using lightning wyverns that I transferred in, one of my favorite creatures. I'm also going to be using the new Ark gigas that are on the map, and I'm also going to use triceratop fertilized eggs. Go up to each one of your creatures, enable mating, and soon after, they'll be laying some fertilized eggs for you. Collect all of your fertilized eggs, and let's take them back to base to hatch. I'm going to start off by using an R Giga egg. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And if you look, you can see that the generator is connected up to the incubator, knowing that it is powered, and it even says powered. Go ahead and access the inventory, and drop your fertilized egg in, and let's take a look at this together. There are 2 buttons in the center that you want to look out for. The first one is Hatch Egg, requires 100% incubation. I just put my Giga Egg inside of here, so it is not going to be ready yet. You can hover over on the Giga Egg and it'll tell you how much incubated it is, but it'll also tell you in the machine as well too. The button below that is Crack Egg to destroy, so you no longer have to hatch out your babies and then kill the undesirable ones. You can crack the egg here, and it's a little bit more humane if you don't like killing off little baby dinos. If you hold down E on the incubator, you will see an option where it says temperature controls. If you click on that, you will notice that you can either increase or decrease the temperature that is inside the machine, and it goes up by increments of 10, 5, or 1. And here where the red arrow is pointing is what the current temperature of the entire machine is at the moment. When you look at the egg that is inside of the incubator, you will notice that you have a little chart that comes up like this. You don't have to access any inventory, it should just pop up when you are looking directly at the specific egg inside. And this chart needs to be explained a little bit. There's a lot of numbers that are going on here. Up towards the top in pink text, you will see where it says female R Giganotosaurus egg, level 126, slot 1, incubating 4 days, 3 hours, 58 minutes, and 35 seconds. That is referring to what this baby is going to be when it hatches. So if you think about this right now, you no longer have to hatch out a bunch of random eggs and try to figure out which one is going to be male, which one's going to be female, what level it's going to be. You no longer have to worry about any of that stuff because this machine is going to tell you exactly what you are going to get. On the left-hand side, you have 3 buttons that we want to focus on. Egg incubation is the first one in blue, and it's currently at 100%. When that number reaches 0, that means that we are going to be able to hatch our egg. Underneath of that, you have in red, egg health, 99.4. When that number reaches 0, that means that your egg is going to spoil because the egg health is too low. Underneath of that, you have something called incubation boost. Right now, that number is currently at 0%. However, that number is going to be directly related to the current temperature of the egg. And remember, different types of eggs from different creatures are going to need a very specific temperature in order for you to hatch them faster. Notice where it says current temperature that there are 2 squares that you have to focus on. The first one is the white square, the second one is the green square. The white square means that the egg right now is too cold because it's located in the blue. If that white square was on the right hand side in the red, that would mean that it's too hot. So you've worked it out by now. The green square that is directly in the middle means that this is where the egg needs to be at in temperature. So that means because we are located on the left hand side in the blue with the white square, we need to move it to the right, meaning we have to increase the temperature. We need to make this egg a little bit hotter. And here I'm increasing the temperature so that I can get it directly in the middle. And it is very touchy. Even the slightest 1 degree off can cause it to not have that incubation boost. And that's what we're going after, is when we get that white cursor directly into the green, we are going to have that incubation boost. You will see it pop up once we get the temperature correct. And there we go, 44 degrees Celsius is the best temperature for a Giganotosaurus egg. And you will see that current temperature is highlighted in green, and then above that you can see incubation boost, 20%, meaning that it is going to incubate 20% faster. You will also notice that my incubation time went from 4 days down now to 3 days, which is incredible, especially for those of you who are on official servers. Let's talk about the stuff on the right-hand side. Towards the top middle, you have these little boxes, and there is a number that is inside of each of the box with a specific color. That number corresponds to a specific color region, because each color in Ark has a number that corresponds to it, and each dinosaur has what's called a color region. So, have you ever bred before and got a color that wasn't the same as the parents? Well, that is a color mutation, and that is designed specifically to a color region. So that number that you see there is going to tell you what specific color in each region on your dinosaur is going to be. 92 is that little blue color, 0 is that white, 48 is gray, 0 is a white, 74 is a nice orange, and then 98 is a brown. And that's going to be for specific color regions on that dino. Below the color regions, you have my most favorite part of the whole incubator process, and that's this. It tells you what the parents are, but not only that, it tells you whether or not that this baby is going to be born with a mutation. This has changed everything that we have ever known about breeding. In pink, you can see what the mother Giga was. She was a level 135. The father, which is in blue, tells me that he was a level 75. And the number below that, 0 mutations, is referring to whether or not that this baby is getting mutations from either the mother or the father. So 0 mutations under the father means that I am not getting any mutations from him, and 0 mutations of the mother means that I am not getting any mutations from the mom either. So this baby that is going to be born will not have any mutations. This is changed everything that we have ever known about breeding in Ark. Makes it so much easier. Even better, what's located right next to the parents is something called stat points. And for those of you that have watched my previous video on breeding, I talked about stat points before. And every single dino that you tame in the wild naturally has points in each category. So if you've ever tamed a level 150 Rex and you've wondered why that your 150 Rex has so much damage, and you've tamed another 150 Rex and it doesn't have that much damage, well, that all comes down to stat points. And this tells you exactly how many stat points are in each category for your dino. This Giga has 19 stat points in health, which really isn't that great. You want to be aiming for about 35 or plus on your stat points, depending on what you want specifically. And this is going to tell you exactly also what is being mutated if you do get a mutation, because you can compare this to what the original base was. This has changed everything about understanding how stat points work. You don't need a calculator anymore, because guess what? Ark has put a calculator in game for you. And here, guys, I'm just showing you that yes, you can put different eggs inside of the same incubator, but there is a problem with this. Think about it carefully. You've set the temperature for this incubator to hatch out your Giga eggs, and that Giga egg needs a specific temperature, whereas when I put in the lightning wyvern egg, that needs a different type of temperature. And so it is going to be incubating my Giga egg. Yes, it will still incubate the lightning wyvern egg. However, because the temperature is set for the Giga egg at 44 degrees, it's not going to give me the boost, that incubation boost for the lightning wyvern eggs. But keep in mind that it will still incubate your other eggs, you just won't get the boost. So what I would say to you is this: have incubators for different types of eggs, but remember, you could only have 3 of them in a specific space. You can only have 3 incubators within a given space before you have to move a little bit further away to place down more of them. So I would have an incubator just for gigas, and then you can have a second incubator just for a different creature, and a third incubator that could be for another creature itself too. And really quick here, just to point out that this is correct, you can see my male lightning wyvern right here that is in the incubator that is level 225. My base parents, you can see, are level 223, both respectively. And you can tell where it says 1 mutation under the base female. So you know right here, right now, that I am getting a mutated baby off of the parent. It does happen to be in food, but hey, it is a mutation, and this shows that it does actually work. You can tell the gender of the baby and whether or not it's ready to hatch on the outside, because when that number reaches 100 on the outside like all of these, you know that your egg is ready to hatch. Once an egg does reach 100%, keep in mind that you will not be able to take out the 100% fertilized eggs. They have to remain in there until you decide to go ahead and incubate them. The other thing to point out too is that if your generator gets turned off, the eggs will still be inside of there, but over time they will lose their egg health, so just be mindful of that. Now, if your incubator does get broken, if I go up to this and actually destroy it, don't worry too much, because guess what? It'll be left behind a bag here, and your eggs will be inside of it, ready for you to grab. And right here, this text right here that says that eggs that normally have to be underwater to hatch, the incubator needs to be underwater as well too. The only creature that I could think of in Ark Survival Evolved that happens to have eggs that you can pick up and put in other places that could potentially go into an incubator is none other than a Megachelon from Ark Genesis 1. Because these creatures here not only need to be hatched in water, but they need to be hatched at a specific depth as well too. So as of right now, the only thing that I can think of would be the Megachelon. If you know of any other creature in Ark Survival Evolved that needs to be hatched in water, that has an egg that you can pick up and put in other places, let me know in the comments below. I would really like to know. Before I do hatch anything, I am going to throw out my Maywing, and I'm going to enable the nursing mode on them. These things are nurse mothers, and you cannot talk about the egg incubator without talking about the Maywing to raise them. And here we go, it's time to hatch. Now my mutated lightning wyvern is on slot 2, you can see it right there, and I'm going to hatch this one just to show you that it does work. So you need to click the one that says slot 2, and then hatch egg, requires 100%, and yep, there we go, it's like a slot machine, it comes right out of the front. Let's go ahead and claim that, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is my mutated baby lightning wyvern. If you do decide to go ahead and crack your eggs to destroy them, this is actually what it looks like. So just click on the egg and go ahead and crack and destroy. And there you go. No longer do you have to hatch them out and worry about having to kill the babies. This is a little bit more humane, and it's a little bit more peaceful for everyone. The addition of this incubation is one of the best things that they've added in Ark in a very long time. I'm not going to be using air conditioners anymore. The only time that I myself would ever use an air conditioner is if I was building a base in Scorched Earth now. But this is going to also make bases a lot smaller because you don't need to have a huge amount of space that you could hatch out one baby at a time. It's going to make base building just incredibly different, as well as breeding incredibly different. So much has changed with the addition of this new item. And that's going to do it for this video, guys. I really hope it was helpful for you and that you learned something new about the egg incubator. Let me know what you think about it. Until then, I'll catch you later.